We'll start with one man who appears to fly like a bird and another who can climb a building like Spiderman. Two people whose sense of wonder literally takes them to new heights. Here's Jay Shadler.
One soars like a bird.
If you want to do something spectacular, something special, you have to be willing to take really special, really unique risks.
One climbs like a spider.
I'm looking for a world with full of danger, and not that kind of world living in a bubble.
Two men on a mission to stake out the high ground in the world's most extreme game of risk. In Shanghai, China, Alain Robert is getting dressed for work.
I need to be very, very, very fast, so it's gonna be nearly like a race.
Without harness, safety net, or parachute, he has scaled the steel and glass walls of the world's tallest buildings, flouting gravity and feeling above the law. The cops chase, and the crowds cheer.
That's right, Mike, Spiderman! Yo, Spidey!
But Mr. Robert is all alone, picking his way up the face of another iron mountain.
Whenever I'm looking down and I'm seeing the people looking at me, there is only two options, falling or reaching the top. And I always take the second one.
Today, Robert will climb 80 floors, just shy of the summit of China's second tallest building, before police force him to abandon his quest. Notch it as a victory nonetheless, for a man who grew up, you guessed it, fearing heights.
I didn't like to look down because I was just so afraid of height when I was young, and for me it's a kind of reward. I won't say that I am dominating the height, but at least I am capable to dominate my fear.
3, 2, 1.
Jeb Corliss is also driven by fear.
I was diagnosed with a condition when I was younger called counterphobia, an almost pathological desire to confront fear.
In a synthetic wingsuit with multiple cameras and bearing a striking resemblance to a flying squirrel, he rockets at speeds up to 300 miles per hour, straight toward his dreams.
I was about 5 years old, and I was watching these birds, and I remember seeing them start to fly. And I remember going, you know what? When I get older, I'm gonna do that. People told me it's not possible. And I'm just like, maybe you can't, but I'm gonna do that.
But in this business, you have to jump before you can fly. What is that?
480 feet?
Oh my God. We met Jeb on the Perrine Bridge in Twin Falls, Idaho.
3, 2,
Base jumping, that's free falling from high structures like this, may have paradoxically saved Jeb's life. Woo! As a teenager, he was suicidal until he learned to jump. What has it given you, Jeb?
Oh, it's giving me my life. It's given me purpose. It gave me a reason to wake up in the morning. You know, it gave me a reason to be here.
I like it how you point at that bridge and say, that's a safe object there. That's a safe jump.
This is the base jump with training wheels.
Alain Robert first took off his training wheels as a young boy in southern France. Turns out the keys to his family's house held the keys to his future.
The very first ascent was because I was not having my keys, so I have decided that I was going to climb my parents' building. And I did it successfully.
And he's never really stopped climbing.
It is very tiring.
Even his bedroom has a rock climbing ceiling.
Sometimes I can stay like that nearly 20 minutes.
Both Alain and Jeb are dancing on that mystical ledge where life itself appears in high definition, with its arms wide open, like the great statue above Rio de Janeiro.
I jumped out of a helicopter, flew at the statue, came about 10 feet away from the statue, flew under its arm.
That's a religious moment.
I got to see the Christ statue in a way that very few other human beings have ever gotten to see.
And he's seen death, too. In 2003, he and his good friend, Dwayne Weston, were attempting a dual flight above and below a Colorado suspension bridge.
I couldn't really process what was going on because I was flying between all this debris. And a woman sitting right next to where I landed, she looks at me and she's like, no, Jeb, he hit the bridge and he's dead.
What did you learn? What comes to mind right away?
Well, he died doing what he loved. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Let's put it this way. Which would you prefer dying? Driving your car, getting hit head on when you didn't even see it coming? Or living your dreams, doing what you love, on your feet like a man?
Meanwhile, in Malaysia, Alain Robert begins the assault on his greatest climbing obsession, the Petronas Towers, the tallest steel twins in the world.
Tough job. I know that in a few minutes from now, there will be no place for fears. It's just going to be fighting and reaching the top.
To elude security, he begins the climb in darkness. Unable to even see his footholds, he feels his way upward. By daybreak, he passes the pivotal first balcony on the 60th floor, where twice before he'd been stopped by police. Sunrise raises the ante and the curtain on this one-man show. At the base of the pinnacle, he faces the most daring part of the climb, 14 circular tubes ascending to a needle-like summit. The authorities can't stop him anymore, but Mother Nature can. Perhaps offended by this small, crawling creature, she wraps the towers in high winds and dense fog. But today, he will not be denied.
It's such a joy, you know, far beyond my expectation. It was a fantastic experience.
So while Mr. Robert feels on top of the world, Jeb Corliss is darn near to actually being there.
For me, success is saying, hey, guess what? I dreamt about it, and now I'm doing it.
These are the cold, jagged ridges of Switzerland's Matterhorn.
How good can we fly this direction? Yes, we can.
A snow-capped prize for the most advanced wingman on the planet. His plan? Jump at 16,000 feet from a helicopter into sub-zero temperatures and graze the mountain with just his shadow at 200 miles per hour.
Does that sound dangerous to you? I don't know. I was like, oh my God, I shouldn't be this close. That ridge, with those little pinnacles coming up off of it, as you're flying down, I mean, you're underneath them, you're like flying in between them, and you're just like coming down the ridge going, oh, it felt so good. That's the absolute best proxy flying I've ever done in my life, without question.
Someday, Jeb believes he will land his wingsuit without parachutes, taking him one step closer to those birds he loved as a boy. Ah, the birds. They've inspired a lot of crazy ideas in humans, and more than a few poems, like the one that rhymes, "If I die while I'm in flight, whether brightest day or darkest night. Spare me your pity, shrug off the pain, secure in the knowledge that I would do it all again."
That's 100% how I feel. No question.